This is Module 5, Lesson 11, titled Volume with Fractional Edge Lengths and Unit Cubes. The goal of this lesson, I can find the volume of rectangular prisms with fractional cubes. As always, take good notes as you watch the videos. Pause the videos at any time necessary. Let's go to the opening exercises. The question asks, which prism holds more 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes? How many more cubes does the prism hold? So if we start with the prism on the left, what I'm going to first do is imagine if I have a length right there of 10 inches, how many of those 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes could I stack along that, make a row of? Well, I could put 10 of those in there. There'd be 10 cubes stacked in a row. Then, if I look at this dimension here, the width, that would tell me how many of those rows I could have. Well, if I have a 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cube, that means I can have 4 rows of cubes. Finally, if I look at this height of this prism, that will tell me how many stacks or how many layers of cubes will fit in there. Since it's 6 inches and each of those cubes is 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch high, that means I can put 6 layers high. Now if I just multiply them, 10 times 4 times 6, I can find that this prism holds 240 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes. Over here, we can put 8 cubes in a row, have 5 rows in a layer, and have 12 layers high. If we multiply those, we get 480 cubes. Well, then the question was, how much does one prism hold more than the other? We subtract the larger amount minus the smaller amount. In this case, we get 240. So the second prism holds 240 more 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes. Now, before we end this opening exercise, a 1 inch by 1 inch cube we could call a cubic inch. That would equal 1 cubic inch, because 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. We would represent that as IN with an exponent of 3 as a label. We would say that would be 1 cubic inch. And also, we might have learned that volume of rectangular prisms can be expressed by length times width times height. That is true if we're filling it with 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes. The idea of volume is, in reality, how many cubes can we stack inside the prism.